Welcome everybody to OP Digital Blueprint. I am joined today by my colleague, obviously Collins Manor, everyone knows, and two esteemed guests today, Robin Noble and Marty De Garmo. Welcome to everybody.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hi everyone.
Hello,
What we
everyone.
want, what we wanted to have a chat about today was personal security from the point of view of what's going on and how we can make sure that our own information and data is secure. So I'm going to let Marty start it off because I know Marty's always got something to say on this, but we're going to run it a bit like a conversation today. So don't mind if any of us butt in at any point. Away you go, Marty.
Absolutely, that is the place I hang out, button in. I was chatting with people. In fact, I was chatting with everybody that's here and other people. Um, we're moving into a chapter 2, which involves money. I'm not going to talk about fruit anymore. It's not an apple, it's money, and we need to be smart. Um, the bigger ONPASSIVE got, the more I got hacked on Facebook. The bigger it got, because here's what's going to happen now. Somebody that looks like Andy, talks like Andy, maybe even writes like Andy, might send you something about this is what the company's doing. Give me X amount of dollars and we'll put you in the elite area. Some people might fall for that and send money. Don't. The personal security that Andy is talking about is dear to me because I know that the more that they know that there's wealth being developed in ONPASSIVE, the more the hackers and the people that live in the shadows are going to come after you. I don't want you to be scared to death. I'm not saying that. You got to be smart. You got to be smart when you go somewhere or you're doing something. And people listening, if you heard, and this has happened, Ash supposedly put something out and wanted to bring in money, I don't know, Bitcoin or some crazy thing. Some people paid. This is months ago, years ago. Don't do that. Ash, myself, everybody on the screen, and anybody on passive that's legit will not ask you for money ever. Ever. If there's money to be paid, you go to the back office and you're paying for a product that you want. Other than that, be careful. I know people, I've had people come up to me, Marty, is this you? And it's some outrageous thing. And I'm thinking, no. Well, I knew it wasn't. Okay, at least they asked. But no matter what happens, listen, Facebook, because an idea, it wasn't a strategy to build Facebook. Facebook blew up, and now they're trying to repair it, like put it in stuff where people can't get hacked, and they're trying to because it blew out of their control because they never planned on Facebook being what it is today. There's no way they planned that. So that's why when you go in and somebody says, "Oh, that guy in New Jersey, he talks a lot," people seem to listen to him. I'm going to be him. And they come in and nail everybody around them. It happens. We should be smarter. What you got, there's things, everybody says, and this is important, learn your business. Learn what not to do. Learn what not to do. If somebody, you might even get a screen pop up that says, you have been hacked. Listen to me. There's nothing going to pop up and tell you have been hacked. That is the hack. Your response to that message indicates if you click something, now you're hacked. How do I know? This guy has done it in the past, years ago, when I didn't understand how things worked. So the education today is more about be smart, be secure. When you leave Facebook, you leave anywhere, or you leave ONPASSIVE especially, log out. Don't just leave. Log out. When you're going to your banking and you let it sit, bing, 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 bing. If they don't have a timer, every time that's open, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it could happen. So shut everything down, be smart. We're in a world, and this goes back to AI. Half the world's scared to death of it. The other half don't understand it. And there's a little bitty part of it that go, oh, I love it. Okay, whatever that number is, it doesn't matter. Are there going to be nasty people in AI? Yes. When the automobile, what's the downfall? The pros and the cons. It's loud and people get killed and there'll be drunk drivers. What I'm trying to say is there's good and bad. I don't care what it is. Don't blame bad on AI. Be smart about it. The good usually always wins, sometimes barely, but good wins. You're going to have people that use AI to get your information or try to win it. And be smart. ONPASSIVE has the best security inside. Remember, you're not protected from security with ONPASSIVE unless you're in ONPASSIVE. They don't secure you outside. So outside, you need to be smart. You need to know that if something doesn't look right, good, there's a good chance it's not. We all have that. Well, I wonder if this is real. No, just shut it down. No, it's not. What's the worst thing that can happen? They come back to you again, hey, that was me, and they prove it. You know it is. Okay, do something. But when you see something, your first instinct is usually always right. Oh, this doesn't look right. Okay, boom, it's not. Don't question everything. Just don't do it. We have a lot of family and friends around the world where you can go, hey, I saw this. Let me go ask Andy or Marty or Robin. Robin, did you see this? Yeah, don't touch it. You see what I mean? Let's all do that. We didn't build just a relationship to bring in money, to produce money for our families. We brought it in to protect each other too, right? So you do that. And we'll learn more and more what's going on, but just be very, very diligent and thinking about and go by your instincts. Does this look right? It doesn't feel right. It's probably not. So don't do it. My children asked me one time, sometimes we do something wrong and we don't know. I said, no, wait a minute. As soon as the question comes in your head, is this okay? Do yourself a favor. Don't do it. Because helping an old lady cross the street, you wouldn't question that because it's a good thing, But if it's a question, don't do it. Sit back and think about what you're doing. That's all I'm saying. Okay, and I did that in 7 minutes and 40 seconds. I'm done. You're muted, Andy. Andy.
Andy, we can't hear you.
I'm muted. After all that, yes, only 7 minutes, Marty. I'm very impressed. Well done.
Thank you.
We saw Ash recently, or Omedia had created Ash as an avatar and created his voice and done a brief presentation. And we know now that it takes 3 seconds of listening to somebody's voice to be able to replicate it into anything, into any speech. And we also know that it's very easy to take someone's face and organize that in such a way that I could do a video. It's not me. What we have to do is to be very, very careful, as Marty said. Now, we know, for instance, Elon Musk. I don't know about you, but I see hundreds of these crypto adverts on Facebook, and 9 times out of 10, they're someone famous like Richard Branson or Elon Musk or Bill Gates even. All of these guys, they have been used, or they've used their face and their voice to be able to encourage others. Oh, this guy's a leader. Yes, I'm going to do that. No, we can't get in contact with these. But if it sounds too good to be true, as Marty said, it probably likely to it will be. So always check. Yeah, speak to us if you hear of anything from any of the other guys. Ask them, send them a message direct. So what are your thoughts on the subject then, Collins? We'll let Robin go last because she wanted to.
Yeah, so I agree with Marty, and Andy, I agree with you. We are living in a very difficult time now where people want to make money, at all costs. They don't really care As long as they are making money, that's fine with them. There's a lot of scam going out there. You know, people impersonate others to make money. So like Marty said, we must be smart. Yes, you want to trust me, but you must verify me. Yeah, you cannot just trust anything you see. You know, sometimes you can say, yeah, it's coming from Collins or it's coming from Andy. No, you must verify. So most of the time you see people being scammed, especially now we're talking about like founders, we're talking about ourselves. Most of the time, who are those being scammed now? Like if you look at most of the WhatsApp channels, you know, where you belong, a lot of people are being scammed because they just want to trust. Sometimes you don't know if it's anxiety or worse. You just think like, okay, let me click that and just make some quick money. Somebody just put this there. You know, there's a lot of things happening, but we just have to be very, very careful. You know, you shouldn't allow yourself to be taken over. You just, you know, said, okay, you don't want to have like self-control of yourself. You must, you know, have a second thought about anything, regardless of if they tell you it's coming from Mr. Ash Mofara, it's coming from here. Any other thing will be in the back office. You know, Marty will come and announce, Marty will come and they'll have 360, they'll talk about it. You know, Robin is here. You know, there's a lot of places, but not like we're talking about first back office. Second, Ash will come. But by the time you are going, you must be very careful. Check if that site you are going is right. Is it linked from the back office? Yes, good. I know a lot of founders always said, please, can you copy the link and put it here? What if a scammer cloned a link, put it there, you click on that link and they get you? Sometimes we always tell people, you know what? The best place to go is to go to the back office, get the link there, train yourself, do yourself a favor. No, you need to know how to navigate your own business, because if you are always waiting for people to bring it to you, you know what? That is where they will get you. They will bring something and tell you, click on that thing. You click on it. By the time you know you are somewhere, you're giving all your information. They hack your phone. If they cannot get you directly, they'll get all your family member indirectly, because they will take it, call someone and say, you know what? There is something happening with your brother now. Your brother just needs money. Bam, bam. If they call 100 people, 3 of them will give money. It happens all the time. So let us be careful. You must be your own security first. Build the security around you. Don't click because you see it. Question. Most of the time in UK, if something happened, like we know our brother Peter Rogers, I know Peter Rogers is ill now, but it's getting better. You know, let us, our prayers and thought go to Peter Rogers, because he's really not feeling quite well. But at least today I messaged him and he's getting better. You know, he was hacked. The first person who called me was Comfort. Peter Rogers didn't even know the phone has been hacked, you know, because he was busy doing his stuff. I said, Comfort, wait, don't pick that call. I called Peter Rogers direct, not on WhatsApp, direct, because it's difficult to hack the direct line. Peter Rogers said, no. I said, check your WhatsApp. You just call someone asking for money, and I know you, Peter, will never do this. Peter said, oh, my phone. Peter tried, and the WhatsApp wasn't going, because they'll take it for 24 hours, 2 days, or 73 hours. When they get hostage of your phone, it is not about you. What they are trying to do now is to get others, those who are in your contact. At least if you have 700 contacts, you like it or not, 7 people will fall. They will get 7 people. Maybe those people are not in ONPASSIVE, but when they say something because they don't understand, what will happen? They will release money to them. And when they get what they want, they'll release that phone. Then the phone will come back. So let us always try to protect ourselves. Don't click on anything you don't know. Don't click on any number. Someone called you and said, please, there's a number there. If you look your phone, sometimes you see when they are talking to you, 2 phones are there. It's like they're trying to switch your phone, try to get your IP address to another phone. That is a hacking thing. Or they can tell you, this is a number, please take it. Can you read that number? You read that number, they've already hacked your phone. You know, there are times they call. I've had it before. They call me. I look at the number. I say, you know what? I have all the time for you now. You think you are smart. He said, can you read the number? I say, yes. I always give wrong number, wrong number, wrong number. 20 times. The guy was mad. I said, do you think you can hack me? You're trying to give numbers so you can hack my phone? Because I had all the time. I said, okay, I will burn your credit wherever you are calling. Your data will go now. I'm here. I'm using my Wi-Fi. Your data, you are using data. I messed up everything. And this guy was so mad, and then they have to just drop and say, wow, you cannot get. This is how you treat them. Say, no, you cannot scam me. So let us always try. Don't email, don't even email that you're not really sure. Delete it. You know, we've talked about phishing here. We've talked about a lot of things. Please delete it. Anything you are not sure, delete it. Sometimes if somebody calls you, you know what? You can leave it. If you don't know the number, don't pick it. Don't be anxious to pick it. Let the person leave voicemail. Go back to your voicemail and listen. Most of the time, they don't leave voicemail. They don't leave voice message. So you call, I don't know. Okay, leave a voice message and I'll pick it. I'll go back and listen to the voice message if you are a real person, because there's a lot of way you can do to protect yourself. You know, you call from Marty. Okay, is it Marty? I know Marty voice. Okay, I'll call you back. You've said blah, 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 blah. I said, all right, fine, good. Stop. Drop that phone. I'll call Marty directly. And I'll get mad. I say, Marty, did you call me? He said, no, Collins, I didn't call you. Someone just hacked your phone. You know, let us try to do that. Be our brother's keeper. Make sure you trust, but you verify. Trust and verify. Trust, verify. Don't just pick it because you think it's this person. I know this person. By the time you know, they've got you. So I'll leave it there, Andy.
I've done it again, haven't I? Muted myself. Well done, Collins. Apologies. I let everybody else speak because I've got a little bit of a cough. Robin, I'm sure you'd love to add to that.
I would now, at this point. Hello, everybody. Not everybody understands what personal security is all about. And I must say, I'm learning a lot, again, through listening to all of you and ONPASSIVE. I know a little bit, but not to the degree of the complete necessary protection that one should be following and going through. But one of the things I can say is slow down. Stop rushing to do everything on your phones, on your laptops. Be mindful and put a code, put a security code or a password code on your phone, on your devices. Get into the habit of logging in through that system, because you never know when it might be the biggest protection you've got, in one sense. But the other thing too is change your passwords to longer ones. So many people will use a password that is very easy for them to know. If that's what you're doing, a simple thing to do is add a character into that password. So request a password change, add a $, add an exclamation mark, add some numbers into it. Break up the spelling of the names. Do it in ways that people will not automatically, through a conversation of top 10 questions, get your information and be able to figure out what your passwords are. Make it difficult for them. If you've got a good long one, 8 numbers, digits, combination thereof, or more, some sites won't allow it to be more than 8 digits. But if you can get a 12 or a 16 one, do it. Write them down. Keep them safe, because those will also be great protection for you. People are expecting, scammers are expecting short, easy passwords. You can also get computer-generated ones. Those are a little bit more complicated to remember, but write them down if that's what you want to do, and learn to copy and type out those longer passwords that have been computer-generated. Make them larger so that you can see every digit and do it properly. That's another thing. Log out, as both Marty and Collins were saying. Log out of your devices. Don't let them sit idle, especially in public places, especially if you're on buses and subways and, driving around, or public transportation, public restaurants, public computer cafes, I think they still call them. Maybe I'm aging myself there. But log out. Don't let them just time out. People can go back and easily get back into it if they know what they're doing. And so many people are computer savvy. They can crack these things so easily. I mean, children are doing it. Why do they keep saying to grandparents, talk to your grandchild, they'll help you get in. They'll help you set something up. They are way more savvy than most of us in the middle years on the scale of our ages. Also, laws in many countries, many cities, are really not in place to help you after you've been scammed. You've got banks that say, contact us, we'll do what we can. There's no guarantee that they can get your money back. There's no guarantee they can get your identity back in a timely fashion. You've got to close accounts, you've got to close credit cards, you've got to reestablish everything that you've worked so hard to do. So get into the manner and the way of doing things to prevent this from happening, instead of trying to catch up after it has happened. Within ONPASSIVE and the founders community, we already know how many people, and many people, have been hacked or scammed. There's no need to put yourselves into that category, because we've got the tools, the understanding, and enough people who know and understand to be able to help you not to do things. One of the things that I started doing after the accident, because I was confused at times with phone calls and I didn't know who was a doctor at that point, who was a friend or a foe, I would pick up the phone and I would stay quiet. I would wait for them to make the first comment. And it was amazing how many people hung up. And again, if it was an important call, either they'd start talking and they'd say, I'm looking for so-and-so, or hello, but they have started the conversation. If you say hello, that can start a recording. If they ask you if this is your name and you say yes, that can start a recording. Now again, this is not to frighten anybody, but it's to make you aware of what is out there. The systems and technologies, we would all have to think they are using them for the good, but unfortunately there's equal and more that are using it for the not so good. And we do not need to become part of those statistics. So those are just some of the things that I've picked up recently and not so recently. I've had 20 years at home working on computers, working on my phones, and I'm being more and more careful with everything that I learn from people like the OTech pros, Andy, Marty, and other people who are techie savvy, as well, of course, as Ash with ONPASSIVE and what we're doing there. But the other thing, please, to remember is I hear many people get frustrated when they say, well, I tried to contact you, or I've tried to contact a few other people and nobody responds. How many founders are there in ONPASSIVE right now? How many founders have been in ONPASSIVE since day one? There are different levels, and I'm going to refer to them as ripples, moving out there of people that you can contact. We have no concept of how busy Marty is helping other founders with his family, doing videos, doing all sorts of things, information technology, getting information out there and helping around the world people. So you've got your direct group that you can talk to and ask a question. You've got people outside of that group who are a level up. And if you don't get an answer, keep pushing. Ask that person to ask the next one. And they can go to the next level up, the next level up, the next level up. Somebody other than what the African animals of the wild five, we're probably 1,000 or more at the top of that, all of this. But so many more people know answers. And if they don't, they've got people that they can ask as well. Yes, ultimately it might get to Andy and Collins and Marty. But it's all right. But between you and these gentlemen, as an example, there are many, many people who can assist you. So please, let's stop putting the pressure on those who are doing so much for people globally when we are stuck in a local situation and needing, quote, immediate assistance. The only immediate is if you've got yourself into a dangerous situation. But if you slow down and are mindful of what you're doing and don't just click on links, click on, acceptance of emails and friend requests and all the rest of it, nothing's going to happen. Nothing bad will happen, but slow down. Thanks, Andy.
Thanks, Robin. That was great. Interesting you said what you said today. One of the things I found today I'll be honest, it was today. I was reading an article actually in Epoch Times that said that a lot of these hackers offer free things on the internet. You know, whatever it might be, a free book or whatever. When you click on the free opportunity, it then comes up with some other free offers. What they're doing in the meantime is taking information little bit by little bit by little bit. Each time you click yes, I want that, yes, I want that, yes, I want that. And interestingly enough, if you do that often enough, they have everything that they need to be able to get into your system. And that is really quite frightening. The whole situation is changing day on day as people get more and more savvy as to how to break codes and do all this various things. They even had a program on BBC in the UK about a chap booking a holiday online, but his internet at his house is supposed to be secure. And there's a guy out in a van sitting outside who's managed to get into his system. So while he's booking the holiday, this chap has then booked another one. And because the bank has seen one holiday payment, they thought, oh, they're organising 2 holidays. Brilliant. So this chap has got a free holiday paid for by somebody else. Now, obviously, because it was set up and designed, they gave him the money back, but they had to show him what they'd done. You know, this is really quite, well, again, I don't like to use the word frightening. We've just got to be a little bit street smart with what we do and how we do it. And the more we understand what we shouldn't do, the easier it becomes. Any further thoughts, Marty? What else would you like to add?
Well, yeah, this is beautiful. The main thing that we're all here for is to have people think on their own. It goes back to know your business, but know what could possibly. Doesn't mean run in fear. I mean, these things are happening whether you know it or you don't know it. The point is, you need to know it. You need to know that it's there. When we heard years ago, everyone's going to know your name. Pros and cons to that. Everyone's going to know your name. The cons are everyone's going to know your name. So, and when they find out that wealth is being distributed fairly equal here, more than ever, they know your name, but they also know you're doing better. You might have more resources. You might have, and it's just everybody's reinforcing one thing: is be careful, be safe, trust your instincts, and ask somebody. That's it. Ask somebody. Look, you don't have to go to Chris Johnson. You don't have to go to Redfern. There's so many people now, because if we've done anything in 5 years, hopefully I have, hopefully others have, is get people to the point where they can trust themselves and they understand. So as we break it down, there's many people flying now. There's not a couple people soaring. Many people are soaring, maybe different levels, but you should be able to go to anybody in a very quick amount of time and find out, is this real? Have you seen this? Blah, 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 blah. Because in ONPASSIVE, everything travels fast. Somebody might say, did you see this on Facebook? I know by the time I see it or hear it, thousands of people had that already sent to them. So news travels fast. Just remember, don't wait to hear from somebody. Use your instinct. Doesn't look right, don't do it. Don't do it until you find out. Like even if somebody called and it sounds like me and called Collins and, hey, I want you to do this and this and this, and Collins went, that don't sound like something Marty would say. Not that it sounds like Marty, it doesn't sound like something he'd say. Okay, I'll get back to you. Collins calls me back. Or did you just call me? No. Oh. Now I'm not saying it'll get to that detail, but it could. AI is really moving fast. And when I saw the thing that Andy brought up about Ash, when he's standing there talking, damn. I mean, it was pretty accurate. If I shut my camera off, it was Ash. And yeah, there's a little bit robotics there, But if they've done this much in this short amount of time, the day will come. I'm not sure you'll be able to tell, other than a person's content, a person's who they are. AI can't represent that. They can represent your voice, they can represent your look, but they can't represent who you really are. And people know who each other are. So if you hear something that says, looks like ass, sounds like ass, but he would never say that. Now, how does that happen? We know him. We know the company, we know the back office, we know how things run. And if you don't, and this goes back to Oliver. Oliver makes 2 or 3 statements a year, and they're all over the all over the world. Is know your business, know your business, know the people that you're around, know everything like that, and this is a piece of cake. The hackers are going to get somebody. It doesn't have to be people in ONPASSIVE. That's pretty much what I'm trying to say. Anyway, that's all I got, Andy.
Thanks, Marty. Yeah, I mean, I had a text message from supposedly my son asking me for money. Dad, I've run out of cash until I get paid at the end of the week. Can you transfer some money into this account for me? I said, that's not your account. Yeah, I know. I can't get into my bank at the moment for some reason. I said, yeah. So I said, well, the best thing you can do is give me a call. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm at work at the moment. I'll call you later. No call. So I sent him a text message. He said, I haven't spoken to you today. I haven't sent any text messages to you today.
That's
You
right.
think, yeah, you've got to be very, very careful, haven't you? So what else you got? Would you like to add, Collins? I'm sure you've got something else to tell us.
Yeah, I like the way Marty, you've just put it, and Andy, you said this before. People just have to be careful with communication, because this happened to my mom before. I think that was long time ago, really long time before ONPASSIVE, where I think someone wrote, they came and they told my mom, Collins have just sent this, but they need this X amount of money for them to, bring it to my mom. My mom was like, the moment my mom heard my name, my mom gave the money and they'll disappear with it. So this is type of thing we're saying. Then when I heard it, I called my mom. I said, but I'll never do something like that. I don't act like that. If there is something, I will call you immediately. I'll call you, call my uncle, call those whom I really know. But I've never done anything like this. So why should you even accept that? So why I'm bringing this up is just like communication is key. You need to know how you communicate with your friends. If someone sends a particular message, you can read the message and say, no, but this is not how I communicate with my friends. Because that's how Scammer do. They don't know how you communicate, like the way Marty said. They don't know how your communication level is with friends and family. Sometimes you send a short text message. You need to know that. So your family know, okay, it's coming from Collins. I know this is how Collins communicate. But if someone the person doesn't know you, the person cannot communicate the way you communicate. It's a two-way thing. There are things I'll look at and say, this is not my brother. This is not from, it is not. This is not how they communicate with you. The way they greet you is different. The way your family greets you, the way they write short text, we must know all of this. If it doesn't look like, you doubt it, just pause it, like Robin said, take a deep breath, take 2 steps behind, call the person and say, I just received a message from you. Is it really you? And the person said, no, I didn't send any message like that. And that's it. And and there are a lot of things where, scammer will use to push you further. For instance, there are people who are scared, say, oh, I'm afraid to go to jail, because they use certain phrases or say, if you don't act on this now, your account will be cancelled, or they will terminate your contract. You didn't sign any contract, anything like that. Why should you even go and click? No, if you don't do this, you'll be fine. I don't even have any record about that. Why should I be fine? You don't do this, you'll go to jail. Yes, let me go to jail. I will not even respond to that, because I know I didn't do anything wrong. I am not even attached to what you are trying to tell me. Some will call you just have an accident now. I say, accident? I had an accident when I was a child. Do you want to compensate me? All of those type of things, we just need to, know how to communicate, look at it very well, take a step behind, read it very well. Don't rush and click. Click on something you don't even know. By the time you click on it, they've got you. start to fill document upon document. By the time you know, all your information is out there. Today I was looking like for a job. I said, all right, let me look for another job, look at, see job site. I said, all right, let me see what they are talking. When I click on it, click on that job spec, they're asking you, send your NI, they need this. I say, you know what? I don't care if this site is legit. I don't care how much you want to pay. I delete it. I just click on the site and just move myself. I said, no, why should you ask me personal information? You can only ask my information after interview. After I've seen you face to face, we agreed on everything. I can't just put my information online. I just delete it. I called Vincent and we're laughing about it because I click on it. I said, let me see what these people are asking. This site was really nice. I'm not saying it's fake, but the truth is the type of information they are asking, nobody will put that information on that site. And this is a type of thing like our anxious and everything, like Robin said, we need to take a step back. No matter if they promise you heaven and earth, let them go away with it. Because if they have it, they'll not even come to you. So, Andy, I'll leave it there.
Yeah, thanks, Collins. That always made me laugh. All you have to do is to put, $50 down or $250 down, and you'll get 10 grand back in a month. Yeah, right. Okay. It doesn't work like that. It never will. So, Robin, what else would you love to add or bring to the party?
Our Achilles heel, for the most part, and Andy, you touched on this with your son. For many people, the Achilles heel and our weak point, because we love so much and because we are family oriented, and I mean personal family as well as friends, and by extension, other people that we know, our family, our children, our parents are our Achilles heel. And so if somebody calls or contacts you and says either that they are your child or your parent, or that they've been hurt, they've been injured, they need money, as the example you gave, the immediate reaction is, I've got to do something to help them. I've got to help them. And you forget and you don't listen to anything else. You've got to stop. Again, take a deep breath. Ask a couple of questions if that's what you want to do. Or if you've just spoken to somebody, then you know it's not the case. But what we did in our family, especially because I traveled a lot, and I would phone home, and for a while it was on a fairly regular basis, and then with situations around the world or the directions we were going in, I wasn't able to call back in that same continuous system and schedule. We created a code word, and Mum and I had this, and if I ever really was in dire straits or there were problems going on, I used the code word, and I can gratefully say I only had to use it once. But it's enough to jolt the person into realizing that, yes, that is who you are. And so many people are out there asking for money now. So many people have ways of contacting, Messenger, Facebook, all their private social media sites, emails even. People just get in there because they've gathered information from other sites. So if you're with family, or if you're ill and you're by yourself and you have good friends that you know that you can talk to, just say, you know what, I'm going to use my mother's maiden name or something. Choose a name that nobody else would know and say, listen, if I really need you, if I'm really in trouble, this is what I will say to identify myself. Or you can say, who is this? Because I said, most people will not know what this is all about. Maybe after this gets out there, there'll be a lot more people using code words and that, but the general population don't know and don't understand how to make this work for them. The other thing is, again, because of memory issues from the accident, I developed a system that works for me. When I get a phone call from a number that ultimately either has hung up or I've spoken to and I know is a marketing scam or some other form of scam, I actually create a profile on my phone, and it with a great big title that says, do not answer. So when that phone number has come up again, I just know to ignore it. And of course, they don't leave a message. So that helps me. Now, I happen to have quite a few of those in my phone list, but at least I know I'm safe and I can check, and it shows up immediately that I'm not answering that phone. I'm not putting myself at additional risk, because of it. So that's something. they're also, people who phone are very, very good at making you doubt yourself, making you think that that another example is you owe money on this, and if you don't, you'll go to jail. Your credit card is in arrears and things like that. Make sure you know your own life history. Make sure you know your credit cards. Make sure you know what's going on in your life. Know your payment system and schedule to the banks. Know what your last few purchases have been online or on your credit card, that sort of thing. One of the security questions I know from banking is they will ask you and say, what have you recently spent money on? Now, if it's not you, nobody else would know that. So, but you've got to be aware of these sort of things. We can't just be Johnny Head in Air and just, flit from flower to flower anymore. Yes, it was beautiful in the day, but things have changed. And so to take responsibility for ourselves, which was something we've been saying for a long, long time with regards to the ONPASSIVE businesses, but it applies in all of our lives as well. Take responsibility, be responsibility for self, and then help others be responsible too. Take your passwords and information offline, have a hard copy, and write them out, type them out. Don't copy and paste. Copy and paste gives another slide into other potentials that people know how to go about and get around. So we have to learn to protect ourselves, and we have to learn to remember, it's like the oxygen scenario on a plane. The oxygen drops, you put it on first, and then you help others. Do for yourself first with ONPASSIVE and with your protection, with your safety, and then help others. It's not a selfish stand. It's not something that's terrible. We need to do that now. And it's sad that this is the way the world has turned and this is what's happening. But it's also something to be aware and to be thankful that we have this awareness now, and that we can protect ourselves and that we can take the necessary steps to do things before the monies from ONPASSIVE start to come to us as well. Because everybody who is part of ONPASSIVE is going to be posting, well, excuse me, let me rephrase that. Many people will be posting the joys of what they're able to do once those monies start flowing to us. So, people are going to see it because people are going to be posting online or talking about it or, all these wonderful things, and why not? But again, just be aware of what the world is like right now. There are a lot of angry people, there are a lot of sick people, there are a lot of very sad people and desperate people. Again, this is a fact informational session. This is not a frightening, to terrorize anybody into thinking, oh my God, I can't do this, I can't step, I can't do. No, information to me has always been power. And that's what I feel these information sessions are all about. So Andy and Collins, thank you so much for having me with you again today. This has been amazing. I don't know if you've got other things to talk about, but you caught me twice now with nothing to say.
Yeah. Well, you've always managed to do something, say something, I know. These are great ideas, Robin. I mean, I must admit, we've used code numbers that I've used with the family before, and code names. This is great. What other ideas do you think we could bring to the table, or bring to so that others understand or can use? Is there anything else that you guys can think of that we might be able to help out in that way?
You might come up with something in a group, or somebody on your, that you're invited in. You're close knit family, right? Because eventually your whole family's coming in. They don't know it yet, but they are. And you can work with your family on a code that only your family knows, or if somebody outside of there. There's a lot of things. One thing I do want to add, Andy, if it's okay, the hackers, really good hackers. I'm saying this like I know. But really good hackers go after your emotion. They will know, no kidding, if you had a death in the family. They'll know if you went through a health crisis. They'll know if you're lonely. And they'll use that, the death in your family, this is a certain organization we want to help. You give us your name, your email, blah, 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 blah. We'd like to send a donate. All that stuff. They Listen, they do it in everything. They do it in marketing. They do it in hacking. They do it everywhere. They work on your emotional strings, it's called, to get what they want. I know we're probably scaring the crap out of people, but that's not the intent. But there are little codes you can do. Another thing people do security wise, I want to tell you something. When you do your dog's name and then you do 2024 or whatever, and you do it on everything you own, that's not smart. Because if they can get in one, they're thinking, and plus, trust me, most people do this. Oh, wait a minute, I got my name and the year I was born and yeah, but when they get one hack, guess what really happened? They got hacks to everything you have. Everything. Because they're going to try that on all the other stuff they can get. And I'm saying, how do I know? I did it years ago. You learn as you go. There's no reason for anybody here to learn those kind of things. Let me cut you to the chase. You don't need to get slapped around and get hacked. In some of these, just don't do it. Don't put the same cute password. Oh, we came up with one lovey-dovey 081. That's foolish. Make something crazy because they're going to know it. I use the same one. I'm going to, real quick example. I had 50 Twitter accounts. Don't ask me why. It doesn't matter. Anyway, but I had the same email. And the name I had was a name. I'll give you an example. Marty dot 101. Dumbass. I'm calling myself Marty dot 102. My password was my name and my date of birth on every one of them. Twitter got a hold of my first one. They think I'm manipulating Twitter. Hashtag I was. But when they nailed my first one, it didn't take a rocket scientist to get the other 49. It went down like dominoes. Now, this was something legit because I did something I probably went too far. I manipulated a little bit. But the point is, for a hacker, they know these. It was dumb on my part. I just didn't think ahead. But you learn. Same thing with your password for people that don't have your interests at heart. They're going to get you. And now what happens? Sometimes families have similar things so that their cousin, their brother can get into their account. Hey, remember my password? It's blank, blank, blank. Okay, what's yours? And they'll go, oh, it's a family thing. Yeah. Now they have all your family in a hacking circle and they're eating filet mignon going, look at this. We just hit the jackpot. So just be careful. That's all. Oh, one more thing before I go, and I won't say any more today. One thing very important that I'm going to plug a little bit, but not mainly for me and for everybody. If you're out there and you feel you're with somebody and you're not you have something to offer, I believe in shining the light on others. In fact, I've done it with everybody that's here. That's what I've done from the beginning. Everyone here would love to do the same for you. Not maybe on this platform, but OTech Pros and all that. This is a little different platform. But my lives, I love bringing people in. I'm meeting people every day that I should have met 4 years ago because they're behind something or some people tell them where they should go and shouldn't go. They can bite me, but everybody else go where you want. You have something to say. I think everybody has something to offer. I'm seeing more and more people that were blowing me away. They should be out in the open. There's people, look, don't be so proud that you don't think somebody's smarter than you, because there is. If you're a wise person, you surround yourself with people that make you better, not where you think you're the best. I am done. Thanks, Andy.
Yeah. Thanks, Marty. That's brilliant. Is there anything else you wanted to add, Collins, before we close today?
Yeah. So like Marty said, it's just better we take care of ourselves. Sometimes we are the one giving our personal information out there. We should try to avoid storing personal information on our laptops or our mobile phone, because if someone gets your mobile phone, unlock it, the person can get everything about you. I know, especially this time where we are now, this digital age, a lot of people feel like, oh, it's just easy for me to just put it there and leave it. No, all my information is here. You only break my head and take it. That's it. every password and everything is here. And if I don't feel comfortable, I change it straight away. So we should all try to keep it in our head. Or if you want to keep it somewhere, it should be half, just bit, like 2 or 3, just to, it's something that will trigger your brain. Say, okay, this is the end, but I know the beginning, or I know the beginning and the end. Don't put everything completely. Let us try to do that, because it's very important. Your security is your wealth. You allow it to go to take everything from you. I know people, they've just lost what a friend called. When I was talking, I didn't know that he lost 90,000 US dollars. Yes, last time I said it, and everyone was crying. It's an ONPASSIVIAN, out of whatever hackers took it in the name of ONPASSIVE. So let us try to protect ourselves. Protect yourself the best way you can. Don't blame ONPASSIVE if you refuse or you don't want to do it, but don't blame ONPASSIVE. But at least try to do it, because they will not get you in ONPASSIVE. They will get you out of ONPASSIVE. Within ONPASSIVE, it is secured. Within your banks, because sometimes people think like they get you from your bank. No, your bank is secured. But you out there, you are the one giving that information for them to be able to crack into the system, get what they want to get, and then come out. So please let us try as much as possible. That's what I was saying. And like Marty said, let us remember to shine the light, as Marty said. I agree with Marty. Try to bring new faces. If you are happy, please, you are there listening to us and you think like you want to appear or on any of the platform, like even like we're talking about Digital Blueprint, talking about OTech Pros, talking about Marty's Live, and Chris Johnson. You want, just contact me, contact any of us. We'll bring it up to Marty or bring it up to Andy, and we are here to uplift people, others. So thank you, Marty, for bringing that.
Thanks, guys, for joining us today. Pleased you did. Please do share this around, and make sure that you listen to Marty's lives on a regular basis. Also, on a Sunday, please make sure you join us. On a Sunday, we do a Heroes webinar on a Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern time, where you guys can ask questions about issues or understandings that you may or may not have about ONPASSIVE. So please feel free to join us. The details are in the back office. If you're a newbie to ONPASSIVE, make sure that you join one of the WhatsApp groups or the Telegram groups, and you'll get the information from there as well. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next Tuesday. Apologies for last Tuesday, I wasn't here.